Perhaps no question is as strife with sides in the school bus industry than electrification. But whether you're for or against greener buses, we asked real transportation directors at our latest SBFX event to share their own experiences. Take a listen to what they had to say about the growing trends in this video.
We currently have 3 EV buses, which we are piloting. Our executive director, Chris Hafizadeh, had a great plan to pilot 3 buses, which we're doing, to see how they work, how they operate, the mechanics of them, how the feasibility of them performing our daily route service. A lot of question marks, a lot of challenges on all levels with all districts, finances, infrastructure, grid, you name it. But we're in the game and we're learning and we're looking forward to advancing in technology, the right way at the right time.
So I have 21 EV buses now. We are still working on the infrastructure plan. So unfortunately, these buses are sitting until we validate or solidify our infrastructure plan. We do have a full renovation at one of our bus depots, and where we are planning to install up to 90 chargers. That should be finished in September 2026. And so hopefully that will give us more insight on the direction on where we want to take our EV buses.
We have 7 EVs that we received 2 years ago. They are fun to drive, and the drivers have taken them on. Little nervous at first, but they have come to really enjoy them.
We have all 237 buses that we have been diesel in our fleet, except for the last set of buses we bought. We bought 4 gasoline buses, and they are doing wonderful. We don't have any electric vehicles at this time.
At this moment, we don't, and I think it's just because of all of the uncertainties, the unknowns, and just the charging concerns. Because we live in a rural area and we have some pretty lengthy routes, and so we have some charging concerns in regards to EV.
Currently, we've recently procured multiple electric vehicles from every manufacturer. We have Thomas, IC, BYD. We also have Bluebird. And so with all of the different manufacturers, we're learning so much about the operations, the proficiency, and we've already put them on routes. We've implemented them. And so with the telematics, we're learning about charge times. We're learning about just the quality, operating. And so for us going forward with the routes and midday charging, there's a lot of operations and just challenges that comes with that daily. A lot of the challenges obviously revolve around the charge times and making sure that we have them ready for the drivers as they are going to go back out on route. As well, just proficiencies, getting the drivers comfortable with the new buses. In addition, just the manufacturing issues as they're coming out, since EVs are kind of the new, we're the guinea pigs, I guess you could say, to the new era. And so each one kind of has its quirks with manufacturing issues. And so as we're getting them, we're working with the manufacturers to have their customer service reps come up and fix those issues as quick as they can.
So we have several things that are going on in our department that have held us back. One of them is we have a parking lot that floods. And when I say it floods, it gets about 18 inches of water in it on a 1-inch rain. We're flat, and so the water has nowhere to go there in the Houston area. And so we're worried a little bit about that on those batteries being underneath and possibly sitting in that water. So that's just concern. That's just for us. We're a little bit worried on how to sustain the program if the government quits subsidizing it, because even though the price is similar once the government subsidizes it, if they quit doing that, what are we going to do? We're going to be able to afford a $400,000 bus versus a $150,000 bus. So we're a little bit worried about that. And then, of course, the range. We worry about that a little bit as well.
There are about a half dozen states where there is a mandate by that state to go all electric within a specific time period. And so those states have immediate needs about electrification and how it's working. So I think that the world of electric vehicles that we're in today, I would bet in 5 years I'm going to be having different conversations, because charging is going to become easier. I believe that the bus batteries are going to get lighter and lighter over time. And I believe that the technology for electric buses is just going to exceed our expectations. So I am a fan where it works, and I support the industry that's with it. I'm also a fan of propane in areas and the like. So, and I grew up riding a diesel bus, and I had no issues with diesel buses either, or gasoline. So as we move forward, I think electrification is right on the top of the agenda. It'll be interesting in the new administration if the EPA grants continue and what happens in funding-wise. But even more than that, I just want to see the technology improve, and the charging issues and the weight issues. And I still have a little bit of angst about thermal events on electric buses. And so those are issues that I believe will be addressed. I just don't believe we've got all the answers right now.
Well, to no surprise, the answers were varied here, and at the event it was the same. Just as many transportation directors told us that they have electric buses versus don't, versus they've got a couple on order for a small-scale test. But no matter where they fell, nearly everyone was concerned about funding, feasibility, infrastructure, and the risk of fires. Because when it comes to transporting our nation's children, we just can't gamble on their safety until we know more about the technology. So stay tuned to School Bus Fleet's website and our magazine to stay abreast of this topic and learn more about all the state and federal mandates, funding opportunities, and real-world experiences in action. We've got some ideas up our sleeve to help you navigate this tough topic. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to the platinum sponsors of this year's SBFX, IC Bus, Ride, and Thomas Built Buses. Let's talk again soon.